The chain went tight on my wrist the second the moon cleared the pines, and the man with the silver arm stood at the far edge of the clearing, watching. I had gotten there before dark. I picked a spot I knew. Flat ground. A stump with roots like a rack. I laid out what I had, once. Then I stopped saying their names in my head so I wouldn't panic. Chain. Padlock. Bolt cutters. Knife. Phone. Water. Flashlight. That's all. I looped the chain around the root and snapped the lock. I tried my left wrist, then changed my mind and took it off and put it on my right, unless I'm mixing that up. I walked the length to see the arc, heel to toe, counting links. It was 18. No, 16. I think it was 18 the first time and 16 the second. I stuck little sticks in the dirt at the edge, just to know where I could reach. I checked the ground. Deer tracks in the soft part. Rabbits too. My own boot prints from last month were still there, faint. I guess it hadn't rained. I found one sharp boot print by the log. It wasn't mine. I think it wasn't mine. The tread looked wrong. I smoothed the dirt with my boot. My hands shook, but it felt like the good kind, the kind you get before a game. That was stupid. I yelled down the trail, just to warn whoever might be out late. "Keep going," I said. "Don't stop here." My voice came back weak. Maybe there was nobody. I texted my brother, "Full moon. Don't call. Don't come." The bars flickered. Sent. Or maybe it queued. It said sent. I'm not sure. Then I sat on the stump and waited. I drank a little water. The clearing felt safe for a while. It got quiet in a normal way. Bird noise faded and came back. A breeze moved the tops of the trees. Not much. I breathed slow. I checked the lock again. It was on the left. I swear I had put it on the right. I got annoyed and told myself I'd messed up. I tugged the chain. The root held. I stepped the arc again. Sticks still where I left them. I got up and checked the ground one more time. My boot prints had shifted. I don't know how to say that. They looked soft on one edge. Fresh again. The sharp print by the log was gone, or I didn't find it. I thought I heard a hiker on the trail. A phone glow, maybe. I shouted again. "Keep moving." No answer. Nothing broke the brush. It felt like the hole in the world where a sound should go, unless I'm making that up now because of what came after. The moon came full and clean. That's where I always lose it. It always hit like heat under the skin and bone pain. I braced against the stump and it still hurt. My hands cramped. I dropped the flashlight. My vision shook, went wide. My jaw ached bad and then didn't, then did. I went down on one knee and then my knee wasn't a knee. I tasted copper. The chain bit. It hurt, which is how I knew it would hold. For a few minutes, I wasn't human and I wasn't anything I would explain to a person. I had weight and teeth and a reach that wanted to pull. The chain stopped me from running. I swung to the edge of the sticks and dirt sprayed. My breath was loud. Leaves hissed. I listened for animals. The night had sound and heat and a lot of smell. Scent of sap, wet dirt, old metal. I don't remember all of it. He stood at the line of trees with his head bare. No hat. No helmet. Dark jacket zipped to the throat. The sleeves were rolled and torn at one elbow. He was tall, or maybe just straight. He had a beard that went to his jaw and then stopped neat. His nose had been broken and set flat. Boots with thick soles. A belt held a long knife and a short one. A short rifle was strapped across his back. Not big. Little pouches along the strap. The left arm was normal, tan skin, scar near the wrist. The right arm was silver from shoulder to nails. It wasn't chrome shiny, more like plates with tiny screws built into him. The joints showed where the pieces overlapped. Finger pads were ridged, not soft. The elbow had a hinge with 2 pins. It looked heavy. Under the moon, it picked up every edge. He made no sound at all. Not breathing. Not a step. No jingle. Nothing. His jacket didn't brush. The pouches didn't knock. The whole man moved, and the clearing didn't add a noise. I didn't get how wrong that was until later. Right then, it felt like the quiet put a hand on my head. I gaped. I think I tried a word. The sound stuck. He raised the silver arm and opened the hand, fingers long and smooth, palm pale metal with tiny lines. He didn't point. He just waited. I yanked the chain. The stump didn't budge. The sticks shifted. My reach felt longer than I had measured. I snapped my jaws and found empty air, even though he looked close enough to catch. That's when I knew the distance didn't make sense anymore. I lunged left. The chain pulled from the right. My paws dug furrows where my boots had been. I hit the end hard and fell. When I stood, the cut across my shoulder was already wet. I hadn't seen him move. The knife in his left hand dripped bright, then didn't. I never heard the blade touch me. The silver arm stayed free. He was fast without looking fast. I saw the knife in and then out, and the wound happened after. I tried the bolt cutters with my foot. I brought them close earlier, I swear. My toe knocked metal, but my paw tipped a water bottle. The cutters had slid to the wrong side of the stump without scraping, or I had put them there and forgot. I grabbed, and my claw hit the phone. It lit up. The screen showed a text I hadn't written yet. "It's safe now," it said. "Come!" My chest went cold. I dropped it, where it slid out. He was still 5 steps away, or 10. But the smear on his blade looked fresh for a second and then dried. It made no sound when he wiped it on his pants that didn't whisper. He came in. He moved without bending the grass, which I know is impossible, and I felt stupid even thinking it. He stepped into my arc, and I went at him. I hit him, I'm pretty sure. My teeth closed on something that felt like a jacket sleeve. My mouth filled with wool and dirt. The taste was bark. I had taken a bite out of the stump instead. My head rang. He was at my side. The silver hand was on the chain. My wrist burned cold and I gagged hard. The metal didn't give. He lifted and the chain that should weigh pounds felt light as cord. He drew it up and then it wasn't in his hand. It was taut around my neck. I couldn't follow the move. He didn't pull hard. He didn't have to. I howled to make him back off and the sound didn't carry. It stayed in the clearing like fog. The trees didn't throw it back. Birds stayed in their nests or were never there. I pulled again and got slack for a second and then a slap of iron. I stumbled and landed near a mark in the dirt. A boot print with a hex tread. Fresh edges. It sat on top of my scat from the last time, which made no sense. My eyes kept lying. He leaned in. His face was close. His beard had 2 white hairs near the chin. His left eye had a soft scab under it. Not new. His breath should have been there against my cheek. It wasn't. His mouth moved. If he spoke, it was a shape only. He pressed the silver palm against my cheek, and I thought he had a sigil or a brand. But no. Just smooth metal. It burned anyway. I think I whimpered then. I'm not proud. I'm a grown man, and it put me on my knees. I pressed my own hand to the palm like I could push it away. My pads hissed. He let go of the chain. It should have clinked. It didn't. He held my phone in the silver grip and with the left thumb typed. I watched the letters pop up. Trail open. No danger. Bring the light. He showed me the screen. He looked at me to see if I understood. I shook my head, or I meant to. My neck didn't move right. He flipped the phone and took a photo. The shutter made no sound. The screen flashed and I felt it on my eyes. He put the phone down near my foot, just where I had placed the cutters before. I snapped at the phone to smash it, and my teeth hit chain. I guess I had moved wrong again. He stepped back out of reach between one blink and the next. His boots were clean, and then they weren't, and then they were. He wiped his left hand on his jacket that I had tasted, unless that taste was just old dirt and fear. He stood at the edge again, full in the moon. That arm held still and bright. He waited. I struggled and then watched him. It felt like a long time. A weight went through me. My body eased in ways I knew and hated. The worst of it passed. My hands hurt inside. My teeth felt too big for my mouth and then didn't. The chain sagged. The cut on my shoulder pulsed, then itched. I shivered without fur. When I looked up, he was still there. He never once made a sound that whole night. Not once. I listened for a breath and got nothing. He turned and left. No crunch. No twigs. He stepped into dark and looked back once, and the arm turned the moon into a line up my face. Then he was gone. I woke with the cuff on my left wrist. The lock was on the other side of the root. My sticks had been moved into a straight row. My phone lay on my shirt. The photo on the screen showed my eyes wide and wrong, and the chain across my mouth. The message sat above it, ready to send, my brother's name in the line. It said exactly what I told you it said. I looked at the boot print. Fresh. It sat over my bare heel mark from the night. It weighed on it without touching it. I didn't understand how, and I quit trying. I stood, slow. The cut on my shoulder felt clean. My cheek burned where the silver hand had pressed me. I picked up the bolt cutters. I set them down. I didn't open the lock. I kept glancing to the trees for him, like maybe he had never left. He wasn't there, just the empty. I should have smashed the phone. I should have thrown it into the trees. Instead, I did what he wanted. Maybe he told me with his eyes. Maybe I just wanted not to be alone with it. I sent the photo to myself and I wrote this out. That's all I did here. That's all I'm doing. I want you to have it. If you think I'm lying, go to the clearing on the next full moon. Bring a chain. Mark your arc. Tie it to the root. Count your steps. Put your cutters where you think you'll need them. Yell once to make it feel fair. Then wait. When he steps out, you'll know. You won't hear him. You'll just see the cold glint run along his arm. That line stayed in my head after everything else faded. Come, repeat my mistake. Send me proof. I hope you enjoyed that one. Sometimes these stories stay with you longer than you expect. If you'd like to hear more, subscribe for the next night's story. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and maybe watch another before the lights go out. See you in the next one.